anybody's gonna take that bitch down, it's gonna be me.
Y'all better have enjoyed that meme, and welcome back to the channel. Also, happy Thanksgiving if you celebrate. For that reason, my family does celebrate, so this video might be a little bit shorter than normal because I'm trying to get back and kick it with them. But we have a few things to talk about. Hoshina and number 10 being the comedic duo, Kafka getting edge to us once more, and then Mina being the hardest hitter in the defense force. Without further ado, let's get into it. So, we start the chapter off by figuring out that Hoshina and 10 did finally clear the runway, which is dope. They finally got incompatibility, got all the way up to 77% output together, and took out everything around them. Right as soon as they were done taking everything out on the runway, Hoshina was like, hey, let's hunt up and go kill the kaiju on the inside. And number 10 said, nah bro, let's go take out all the officers. Right after that, Hoshina says, 10, why would we be taking out officers? And 10 just basically goes on to banter and says, well, I'm tired of fighting kaiju, I want to fight somebody different. And it's dope to see just this banter and this bickering back and forth that they continue to have, because we learn that they are the comedy duo by the Defense Forces standards. So it's hilarious for us that they are funny, and also even for the people in the Defense Force. Watching them interact is also hilarious to them as well. But one thing that's interesting is that this is the second time now that we've actually had human beings calling a member on the Defense Force a monster, right? Actually, it could be the third time. Obviously, people are calling Kafka a monster, but we've seen people call Narumi a monster, and now we've seen people call Captain Hoshina a monster. Obviously, it's because of how strong they are, but I wonder if this is going to be something that kind of comes into the story in fruition later. Is this going to be something that kind of brings up some moral grounds, like who is truly the monster at the end of the day? We're taking these kaiju, turning them into weapons, and almost becoming just as strong as a Dai kaiju. So who is the true monster here? Just something to think about. Now, the second thing that we're going to talk about is Kafka, as well as the emergence of those 6 super giant kaiju class, right? Now, that was terrifying for even the Defense Force, because they said themselves they have not seen any kaiju of this size all appear in this big of a horde at once. So for them, they're thinking it would be hard enough just to take out one of these, let alone 6 of them. Whenever Kafka hears this, he pops up, and I'm sure all of us were hyped to see Kafka pop up and say, hey, platoon leader, put me out there to fight those kaiju. I've never fought any super giant class kaiju. I just want to see what I can do. But we got edged by Matsumoto because the platoon leader said, Kafka, kaiju number 9 can sense any time that you do any partial transformations. The last time that kaiju number 9 led that attack and took Isao as well as kaiju number 2 suit, he figured out where Kafka was based off of him doing that partial transformation whenever he was with Kikoru, right? So we can't afford to have Kafka risking himself right now. But I don't know how you guys feel about this, but even seeing this chapter, it makes me think that there's no way that Kafka is going to be able to wait all the way until kaiju number 9 pulls up to attack. We're trying to use Kafka as our trump card, and I think that is a smart idea because he is truly our trump card. But kaiju number 9 probably has a pretty solid idea that this is going to be something along the lines of our plans, right? That is the master chess piece user. So there's no way in my mind I can imagine that kaiju number 9 is going to allow Kafka to stay in hiding. He has to have something else up his sleeve that is going to force Kafka out of hiding to either A, fight him, or B, he'll have to just protect people that are in the Defense Force. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with that. But even though Kafka couldn't fight, immediately these super giant class kaiju started attacking the town. And as they are attacking the town, none other than Mina Ashiro says, hey, I got this, let me get this under control, and takes out one of the super giant class kaijus immediately with an artillery shot. Whenever she takes this artillery shot, we see the platoon leader look back and say, wait, is Mina helping us right now? There's no way she can help us because she's all the way at Tachikawa base, which is 20 kilometers away. 20 kilometers away. And Mina is sniping these things with her new weapon, the railgun from Mina. This railgun from Mina was dope, and honestly, one thing that I really loved about this from Mina is that she got a power up without necessarily using a Daikaiju suit. We've seen lately that a lot of these characters in our series that are powering up is because they get the assistance of a Daikaiju level suit, which is automatically going to make a user stronger than the average person, right? Reno's going to be a lot stronger than the average person. Kikoru's going to be a lot stronger than the average person. Hoshina. But Mina already sustaining that 94% output while using the railgun, blast away 2 of those super giant class kaiju off rip, and it was the hardest way to end this chapter. The only things that I kind of have questions about is, A, what are the drawbacks of using this railgun, right? Anytime that you have some super giant gun or some super giant weapon that can take out anything like this on this level, just be this catastrophic, there is always some crazy drawback of using the weapon. So what is Mina's drawback going to be of using this railgun? And 2, it's dope that we can use this railgun to fight the super giant class kaiju, because that's what Mina specializes in. We even saw it at the end of the chapter. She is the best in the defense force at fighting giant kaiju. But this railgun is not going to be effective when fighting somebody like Kaiju number 9. Kaiju number 9 is a different size than these kaiju. He is smaller, he is faster, and he can control kaiju around him. So this weapon is going to be dope to fight big kaiju, right? But it is not going to be something that we can use to our advantage whenever we're fighting those smaller Daikaiju, and we're still going to have to fight them one-on-one. That's just what I think. Who knows? But nah, man, this chapter was dope. I'm happy that I got to get on the channel, talk about this chapter with y'all a little bit. I can't think, but I'm about to get back to the Thanksgiving meal with my family. So like I said, if you celebrate, please have a happy Thanksgiving. Arigato mas for watching this video. And let me hit you off a note. It's been a while. Peace. Happy Thanksgiving.